I've always had a really big libido. That's the truth of it. It's always been massive. And I've never really known what to do with it. And I've always been worried that it's bigger than other people's. And it's just there. But you know what? I'm kind of proud of it. I kind of like the fact that I've got a big libido. And the more I've got used to it, I've become more confident about it. And then I was lying in bed with the guy that I was dating at the time. And we were both stalkers, and we were sprawled out, and we were lying there, and we'd just had sex. And he looked down at me, and he looked down at my vagina and went, "Have you always had that much of a pronounced vagina?" I mean, what do you say to that, really? Well, yeah, I guess I've always had a big libido. And so I told him this. He was like, "Mate, that's not your libido." "Oh, sorry, I mean my clit. I've just always had a big clit." "That's not your clit either." "That's your labia." Until this point, I thought that I was donning it sexually with my big clit and my big libido. And actually now, I just felt so small. In that moment, I'd reverted back to 16, putting condoms on for the first time. He said to me, "Didn't you do this in sex education?" No, my sex ed memories were putting condoms on cucumbers. It was Mrs. Morgan walking in with king-size bars before the start of our first ever sex ed video as a special treat. I didn't learn about my own anatomy. My memories are not learning about my body parts. My memories of sex ed were not exploring self-pleasure or building confidence in sex. Mine were being terrified shitless about contraception and pregnancy prevention. That's my memory of sex education. So no wonder I don't know my labia from my libido. But you know what? I'm not alone. Here's a diagram from a study done last year by YouGov. See how many parts you can name. Go on, give it a go. Do you want to know how many you got right? Here we go. A, your clitoris, which in the study showed out to be the most popular of people getting right. B, urethra, not your pee hole. C, your labia, and again, not your libido. And D, your vagina hole. And surprisingly, your vagina hole was the one that over half, it was estimated from this survey, of the UK's population couldn't label where their vagina hole was. This is partly because there's a misassociation with the vagina being the whole of the outside or the external part of the female anatomy, whereas actually it's called your vulva. With over 33 million of the UK's population identifying as women, we have a hormonal system, a sexual organ, a reproductive system that we still do not understand and that is still vastly understudied. So this is for half the UK's population and me. This is a sing-along session. This is vaginal karaoke. This is sex ed revisited. This is heads, shoulders, knees and toes of the female anatomy. Clit. Yes, labia major, minor, clitoris, labia major, minor, your urethra, your vagina, and your anus, they're your holes. Urethra, vagina, anus, they're your holes. Internal organs, let's go. Uterus and your ovaries and your ovaries. Uterus and your ovaries and your ovaries, and your fallopian tubes and pubic bone. Fallopian tubes and pubic bone, pubic bone. That was head, shoulders, knees and toes of the female anatomy.